All right, and we're live now. So thanks for being here, everyone. So today I'm gonna try to do something different than last time. So no coding thing. Um, I just wanted to try to share how I usually write. So today, basically, what I'm gonna do is just play around with ideas around a topic that's been in my head for quite a long time. And yeah, and just see how it goes, and just like to share the work in progress, instead of just working on my own and then just pushing a new article live on the website, and you just seeing the finished product. I can say so. Okay, so today I want to talk about how, as a new developer uh, in a team, how do you wrap your head around a new code base? So let's say you got a job, and or you're taking over a project, whatever, and you discovering new things, a new way of doing things, a new code base, and or it can even be like you're in a job, but you're working on a very big app, and then there's some parts of the code base you've never seen before. So how do you do how do you wrap your head around this? And yeah, so I'm like always, I'm gonna draw on my experience. I've been working my first developer job for almost a year and a half now, and I've been in this um, situation a lot of time. I'm assigned a new ticket, a new feature to code, and then I need to go in some parts of the code base I don't know, I do not understand. So I just want to play around with this. So that's basically our introduction, right? So you know, um, let's say you're new to the job, or you've just got a feature request um, around some parts of the code base you don't know about. Um, what do you do? And of course, it's what uh, shouldn't you do? Because that's both thing works, and in the end, you're I don't want to call this best practices, because it does sound like marketing scam, but that's you have things you should avoid doing. Let's start with what you shouldn't do. I guess what we shouldn't do is just uh, knock your head on the wall for hours. What I mean by this is, um, you're trying, you're trying to read and understand the code alone. That's fine, but after a while, you're just not getting anywhere. And this is something I've done a lot, and I would say that this is one of the major um, blocking points in terms of my own technical learning curve. Um, I just have this thing, I want to do things alone. I don't know why. And I sometimes I should just ask for help. like earlier. Yeah, do not try to do everything alone. Well, that applies to a lot of things, like outside of coding as well. Okay. So, yeah, some of the things I've put in place in my team to just like to streamline this. So to just like get things faster, and so of course that allows me to just start working on my feature like much earlier and get a better understanding of everything that's going on. So I guess we say that the end goal is to faster in a more comprehensive way, and yeah, and just get to work on that feature faster as well. Okay, so what I usually start with is I'm just like gonna read the code I need to work around. That's like the basic thing. I just like I'm before like asking anybody else. I'm just like I read the code, and if some things aren't clear, I'll take some notes. I mean that happened to me a lot, but especially when I was first time I tried to use like railway oriented like race transaction, not the DB transactions per se, but a gem called drive transaction, and it helps build like sequential steps of things that should happen to the idea is to mock a business logic. So the first time I read that kind of code, I was like, what's going on? So I just like took some notes and to ask for like thing. Take some notes if I can. I think I go read some docs. Usually, I try to do that. Let's say for one example is like the wiki gem. It allows you to have like a multi-step controllers, which is like super handy. But I mean, if you had like a wiki gem and then some things going on within each step, plus some like translation because you have like a multilingual app. I mean that can be a lot to take on. So I usually like to break down things. Actually, a good thing to do. Like, if I can, I try to break down what's happening. By that I mean, if that's possible, you try to isolate each logical part. That can be as well getting a sense of what's going on, what's the flow. I mean, the app's flow. Let's say, does it create a user? Then what does it do? Does it send an email? Like all this, like all the app steps. Try to get a better understanding of how my part fits in the wall, if I may say so. If I can, so I go read the docs. Um, and now, if I still have questions, I consider I've done my best um, as a 18 months experienced developer. So now this is, if I can say, like the tipping point, and this is where I either get stubborn, which is not a good idea. So I'm gonna like just try to do things on my own and again, and I'm just going grow frustrated a lot. So I either get stubborn or I ask for help. So now what I usually do is I go and ask the person who's responsible for the code. I get both a big picture, and then I can we can dig deeper and I can learn about all the edge cases and stuff like that. So okay, the big picture plus dig deeper for edge cases. If that person is not here anymore, or it's I don't know, it's on vacation or anything, I go to the like my I don't know how can I call this. I'm gonna say mentor. I don't have any better words now. So right now my mentor is Thibaut, so he's the lead developer, the company I'm working for. I'm working with right now, and he's the most like senior dev in our team, so he knows a lot. He can like wrap his hand around a new code base like much more, like way more easily than me. So mentor, I would say like senior person in the team. I can do that as well because um, people in my team are really nice. So I'm quite lucky not to work with any jerks. So you may not be able to do this. But that's usually what I do. Okay. And same thing as above, just to get a big pictures, dig deeper for edge case. I could add as well that I have to get a walkthrough of the whole process. Or always that thing to know how my part is gonna fit in the whole thing. And as well, that's another like really important thing. Get a proper setup. By that I mean, do I need any API keys, credentials, etc., etc. Let's break down this thing like that. It allows me to get a big picture, dig deeper for edge cases, get a walkthrough of the whole process. Yeah. Alright. Get a proper setup. Also, I might add that when I go see someone, I explain my previous research. So what did I do? What did I look for? Everything. So they know. They know exactly where I am, so they don't have to repeat things, and it just wastes time. The idea is to try your best to understand it, and if you don't, go ask for someone else time and help, but make this as easy as it's possible for them. All right. Okay. And usually here, when I'm done with this, I in 95% of the time I'm like ready to go. If not, I usually add some like more some additional steps. I draw things on paper. So usually that can be like how the app interacts with database. Always that flow. So flow, that can be like the flow about data, about user experience. The idea is just always to get. I do not love to code things in a vacuum, so I always try to just get how what our users are gonna do with what I am about to code. That gives me. It also allows me to pinpoint potential like edge cases or code smells or anything. Draw things on paper. One thing as well. I'll go and check the data we have in our database. Not like, more like if let's say if I need to update some values, I'll go and see if like set values are corrupted. Let's say once I had to find or create users based on their email. So I was receiving webhooks from a provider. The problem was we had long ago we didn't have like validations on users' email. So some of our oldest users had email that was stored as nil. So the provider was sending us some like corrupted data with people contact information with nil email, and that was just a pain in the ass to debug, basically. So now I'm just every time I need to update something and play with, and I know there's gonna be like a lot of interaction with the database. I'm just going to see what there are there any weird things. All right. So okay, I think I've got like the rough key takeaways, if I can say so. So I will split this, I guess, as what I can do on my own. Yeah, and sorry, I was switching French for a second. And what I can, what? Well, I can't do on my own then. Let's do. Okay. And that part, let's just go these additional steps because I can do this on my own, but I usually do this after, and yeah, in the process that usually come at the very end. Okay, something. All right. Um, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop there, and I will. Yeah, I'll do another stream, maybe later this week or next week's. While I'll be like working around this with this, and see how I can like shape everything as a a proper post. All right, thank you all. See you soon.